the Atlanta Falcons selected Michael Penix at number 8, which is one of the most surprising picks I have seen in maybe years. So today, we are going to see what the future of this Falcons team could look like, now that they hopefully have their future starting quarterback. But this is going to be a super interesting rebuild, and maybe not the easiest one I've ever done, because this team definitely has some issues. But we are going to finish off this Falcons draft in just a second. And super quick, if y'all enjoyed today's video, let's see if we can get to 3,000 likes. And if we can, I will do another draft-related video with either someone who's taken yesterday, maybe an interesting pick that happens today. Whatever happens, let me know down in the comments what team I should do. And I'll say shout out to Pop Red K for the suggestion of this video. Their link is in the description, and if y'all want to shout out just like that, or if you just want to let me know what you want to see, let me know that down in the comments. And very last thing, be sure to subscribe, because like I said, I have a ton of fun rebuilds coming up very soon. But without further ado, let's get into the draft. I'll share my opinion on this whole thing in a second, but let's get to the draft first. Also, I realize this is probably the most jank way I could do this, but I just moved every player to punter that already got taken, so hopefully they don't get picked. But the Falcons pick at number 11 in the second round. Kool-Aid McKinstry still available. I saw Cooper DeJean went right before us. I mean, I'm surprised Kool-Aid didn't get picked in real life, but I don't know how he's still available here 11 picks later. I mean, that's very possible at this point. Teams must be pretty concerned about his speed, so we'll take him. Hidden Dev. I'm a big Kool-Aid McKinstry fan, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I realized he's not the fastest, but I still think he was worth a first-round pick. But now in the third round, I wanted Chris Braswell, I'm not gonna lie. Braylon Trice is still available, and Austin Booker, and Jonah Ellis. Okay, there's some pretty good pass rushers left. I'll go with Braylon Trice. I don't know if I've ever used him in a rebuild. I probably have. I don't know what the Falcons are gonna do. I don't really think there's much of a point in even trying to predict because, you know, the Michael Penix pick was so unpredictable. So let's just go with Braylon Trice. And now still in the third round technically, I think I'm gonna go with Ben Sinnott. I like him a lot. I think he's my favorite sleeper at tight end. I have no idea where he's gonna get taken. I would guess like 4th, 5th round, maybe 3rd, I guess. I don't know. Probably a mid-round pick, but for the last pick I'm gonna show, let's take him. Hidden Dev sounds good. But here's what we did in the rest of the draft. Kool-Aid McKinstry, like I said, I like him, so he's a 76 overall, a Hidden Dev. You know, this team has decent corners, but he was just the best player on the board in my opinion, so we're obviously gonna take him. Braylon Trice is a 74. Ben Sinnott, 72, we'll take it. And then we mostly just grabbed depth for the rest of the draft. I guess, you know, from Sinnott down, it's all depth anyways, so I'm sure not a single one of these picks will be right, but I guess you never know. We'll see what happens. But let's get in to year number 1. But here's a look at the team heading into the year. I mean, there isn't really much to look at. It's just the Falcons with the players we added, so real earth-shattering roster update here. But, you know, as for the Michael Penix pick, I guess I'll just say this now. I don't love it. I mean, it's not exactly a hot take, but, you know, I think he could be really good. He could be worth it, but I feel like it would have been better to take like a Dallas Turner, Leatu Latu. Hell, even Roma Dunze could have been really cool. I don't know, it's tough because on one hand, it could be a really good pick if he does end up working out after sitting behind Kirk Cousins. But if he comes in and looks horrible when he gets his opportunity, then, you know, that could be really, really bad for this team. I don't necessarily think that would happen. I do think he will be good, but it's still just not a pick I would have made. I don't feel great about Arnold Ebiketie and Lorenzo Carter being your pass rush duo. So hopefully they do actually address that today. But anyways, that's all I wanted to say. I would give the pick like a C-. C, because I realized Michael Penix could be really good. It's just, I don't know, if you want to gamble on upside, do that in the second round. When you, like, if you don't have any needs on your team, then that's fine to do in the first round. But I don't know, go with like a Spencer Rattler, Michael Pratt, round 2 or 3. I don't know. I realize me saying that has the potential to age horribly, because I do think Michael Penix will be good. It's just, I don't know. It's just a weird pick. But anyways, let's finally get into the rebuild. Let's get to the midseason point of year 1. I think how we're gonna do this is we are gonna start Kirk Cousins for this first year, because, you know, I'm sure that's what the Falcons are planning on doing. But next year, I think we will start Michael Penix. Unless Kirk Cousins plays horribly here, then we could bench him. We'll see. Okay, well, we are 4-3 at the midseason. That is better than I thought we would be. It looks like we have a very good offense, but a not so great defense. It's not horrible, but our pass D is pretty horrible. You know what? This is kind of what I didn't want, because I'm going to feel bad benching Kirk Cousins when he's playing poorly, or when he's playing well. If he was playing poorly, I wouldn't feel bad, but I guess he's not doing too insanely well, but he is doing well. We'll see how he finishes the year. I mean, we're going to start Michael Penix next year regardless, unless Kirk Cousins wins MVP or something. But we have some re-signings. Let's see. We definitely want AJ Terrell back. We'll go, that's really cheap. We'll go 4 years, 56.8 mil. That is very cheap. He takes it though. Richie Grant, we could probably upgrade. He's fine, but he isn't interested. He's going to be 27 next year. He's going to be really hard to develop, even if he does play well. But Drew Dahlman will go 3 years, 24 mil. He takes it. And then other than that, I mean, we could think about re-signing D. Alford or Rondale Moore at the end of the year, but I don't think it would be too hard to replace either of them. So let's just get to the end of the year. And hey, we're doing well, so hopefully we can keep it up. Either that or hopefully we entirely collapse and finish 4-13 so we can get a good draft pick. We'll see. Okay, well, we finish 8-9. That is the most Falcons record I've ever seen. I don't know if they've actually gone 8-9. Probably not. But let's check out our season stats. Kirk Cousins was all right. 3,300 yards, 22 touchdowns, only 8 picks, but not a great completion percentage. He was okay, but he didn't exactly light it up. He didn't keep me from wanting to start Michael Penix next year. That's what I'll say. Bijan Robinson, almost 1,400 yards, 4.5 per carry, 8 touchdowns, 11 for Tyler Algier. No 1,000-yard receivers, but Drake London, 900, only 7 touchdowns though. Kyle Pitts, 800 yards. Okay. What? How many times? We only passed 467 times. How do you manage to allow 14 sacks in that time? Drew Dahlman allowed 9. He was arguably worse from the center position. And Chris Lindstrom, this is the worst year I've ever seen him have, allowing 7 sacks at right guard. And big shocker, our lowest overall offensive lineman in Matt Bergeron did the best, only allowing 3 sacks at left guard. This game is a joke. But Caden Ellis led the team with 113 tackles, TFLs 10 for Trice, 10 for Ebiketie, and sacks 8 for Jarrett, 5 for Ebiketie, a whole 2.5 for Braylon Trice as a rookie. That's great. And then interceptions, 4 for Ellis and Bates, 3 for Terrell, and 1 for Alford. But MVP goes to Patrick Mahomes. I highly doubt we're going to have anyone for anything. Offensive Player of the Year goes to Justin Jefferson. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Micah Parsons. Big surprise there. Offensive Rookie of the Year goes to Jatavion Sanders. That's something. I guess the downside of not having all the real-life rookies in, you know, the draft classes and having them in the actual rosters is they don't count as rookies this year, so nobody in the first round is going to be up here. But Ben Sinnott at number 10, and then Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to Jeremiah Trotter for the Cardinals. They also drafted Peyton Wilson. That's interesting. Kool-Aid McKinstry at number 5, Braylon Trice at 8. That was definitely a season. But in the Super Bowl, I feel like we've been seeing this one a lot. The Ravens beat the Packers 28-20. Interesting. But we'll pick up the 5th year for Drake London, obviously. Rondale Moore, I guess we can re-sign, but it wouldn't be too hard to upgrade over him. I think we'll just let everyone else here go, so let's get into free agency, and let's see what we can do. But in free agency, it's a lot of players that we don't really need. I mean, it's a lot of linemen. This team definitely has a good line. I mean, it didn't play like it, but we don't really have a reason to upgrade it because I don't know if that would do anything. But we're going to go for a couple defensive players. We're going to try to get Zadarius Smith. I don't think we're going to get him necessarily. He's not interested, but we are tied for the lead at least with 3 other teams. I'm sure he's going to go to the Buccaneers, our division rival. That'll be great. And then we're going to go for Justin Reed. You know, pretty good upgrade over Richie Grant. He is getting close-ish to 30, but like we don't really need anyone too crazy at safety. I just want someone pretty good there. So we'll see if we can get these 2 players. They both sign, and we get Justin Reed, and Zadarius Smith at least goes to the Commanders. Thankfully, not the Buccaneers, because he is pretty good in this game a lot of the time. And you know what? Actually, I'm going to make one more move. Because our pass rush was so bad, still, let's see if we can get Matt Judon. I don't know how he's going to do, but I've had him do really well at times. I've had him do really poorly at times. We'll just see what happens. Let's see if we can sign him. Oh, fuck me, I guess. The Raiders have a massive offer out of nowhere. Cool, awesome. Let's get to the the draft. But in the draft, we pick at number 11 again. Well, not again. The Falcons picked at 8, but they picked at 11 in the second round. I should just shut up sometimes. The Saints pick at number 1, and we're going to go with the receiver. It did the stupid thing where it just shows everyone as a top 5 because I forgot to set the draft class storylines back to on. But I did cheat and saw everyone's overall, so we actually know what, how good they are because we should know that. These two are a 78, and then Stapleton's a 76. Who's the youngest? Okay, both of these two are 22. Who had the better combine? Laws. What's our scheme? Playmaker. Who looks like the best playmaker? Probably Laws. Looks like a little bit better of a runner. But I don't know. Thorpe has a lot better juke and spin move. Does it really matter? They're both the same overall. I'm just trying to see who might have a dev trait. Let's just go with Brandon Thorpe because he's projected to go first. He does have hidden dev, thankfully. 97 jumping. Good lord. We'll take it. Now in the second round, I'm guessing there are no good pass rushers left. This linebacker, hold on. George Pagel? I mean, we really don't need an off-ball linebacker. He's not that fast. I mean, it says great speed, elite acceleration. A 4.66 for someone who's only 224 pounds. That isn't great. I don't know. We maybe could take him round 3, but We could go with a safety. We could pull the Falcons strategy of, taking a future pick here. Russ Stevenson looks all right. He has great speed, only decent acceleration, though. But I like the A awareness. Mostly everything else is a B from what we can see. I mean, he does have C pursuit. I don't know. We really don't have any desperate needs anymore other than pass rush, and there just aren't any good pass rushers, so it's tough. We'll go with Russ Stevenson. That's hard for me to say. I don't know why. But he does have hidden dev, 91 speed. Probably like a 75 or 6 overall. We'll see. And last pick I'm going to show. Let's see if there's a good defensive tackle. Ooh, Alex Terry. He's interesting. The problem with him is he doesn't have any A ratings. I mean, maybe he has A hit power, but it's hit power. I don't really care. But he has elite speed. A 4.79 was only 4th for defensive tackles. Hold on. What are we working with here? Okay, I found the fastest. He does look pretty good, but he's not that strong. Dan Olsen almost looks better because he does have the strength. He's interesting. I don't know how good of a run stopper he is. I mean, he has A to C pursuit and tackle, but those could both just be a C. Yeah, we'll take a chance. He looks pretty good. Normal dev. Why would a crazy athlete have a good dev trait? That would be insane. That wouldn't make any sense. Okay, well, Brandon Thorpe was definitely a good pick. 78 overall, we knew that. Russ Stevenson was only a 73. That's kind of what I was fearing. Didn't he have B-Man? B-Man is a 72? I was thinking like a 77. Okay, if I would have known it was going to be a 72, I probably wouldn't have taken him. I mean, he's only 21 with a hidden dev, so this could end up being a good pick, but we'll just have to see. Dan Olsen, really wish he had a dev trait because he is actually a really good player at a 76. He's definitely going to have to be a defensive end here at only 286 pounds. He goes down. That's kind of surprising. Most of the time, speed rush defensive tackles stay the same or even go up at times, moving to defensive end, but he's still decent. And then the CPU picked a better safety than the one we took. I mean, our guy's a year younger, but Christopher Hagens is a 74 overall with hidden dev. He looks good. So we definitely have some good safeties now. We don't really have to worry about that anymore. The CPU also took 2 power rusher defensive ends. What kind of players are these? This dude's 6'3", 277, so I guess we'll keep him on the D-line. He's a little undersized. I guess he can maybe play the Calais Campbell role, though, so maybe we'll make him an edge. He only has 71 power moves, though, so probably not. And then Keon Flowers is the exact same build. 6'3", 277. Just no dev trait. What a weird draft. Let's get into year 2. But here's a look at the team heading into year 2. We're up to an 84 overall. We are not bad at all. This is a really complete roster, too, already. And, we are going to start Michael Penix this year. He could actually start soon if, like Kirk Cousins gets hurt. Hopefully not, but, if that does happen, Michael Penix definitely could start. But I think it'll be a couple years unless an injury happens. I guess you never know, though. But we're starting him possibly a year early just because, he's the point of the rebuild, and I don't want to do 2 years without him. But the defense is looking good. Like I said, not many holes on this team other than edge. I edged your mother's hole. I shouldn't say that. It's gross. But hopefully, it plays well. We'll see. I mean, Braylon Trice is almost an 80 overall. I can guarantee he's not going to play like almost an 80 overall. He's going to play like a 60 overall. I guess I can't promise that, but that's my prediction. But Kool-Aid McKinstry's up to an 81. He's looking pretty good on a more positive note. And we'll see how Justin Reed does. But let's get to the midseason point. And hopefully we're better than last year, but honestly, year 2 2 of these rebuilds seems like the year where we have a just massive underperformance, but we'll see what happens. Oh yeah, and also after this, if you want to see, you know, another rebuild with upcoming rookies or picks that already happened, I have already done a JJ McCarthy rebuild a few weeks ago on the Vikings. I've done Caleb Williams on the Bears a few times, and Jaden Daniels on the Commanders. I did a 10-year rebuild there, so if you want to see more after this, I already have those up on the channel, so feel free to watch them. But at the mid-season point, my prediction was thankfully wrong. We are 5-1. We have one of the best defenses in the league. It looks like the second best. I guess we are first for yards, though. Our offense is interesting. We have a good run game, and we're getting points on the board, but our pass game is pretty weak, it looks like. But hey, it's good, so we'll take it. Also, the Panthers are 4-3 at only a 78 overall. How? That's rough. But for re-signings, it doesn't look easy here. Kyle Pitts, Tyler Algier, we're not going to be able to afford. I mean, I know he's a good running back, but he doesn't get much playing time here anymore. Ooh, Grady Jarrett, David Onyemata. They're older, so we would probably re-sign him at the end of the year. Same with Caleb McGarry. Okay, we're gonna start getting really expensive, but we'll re-sign Kyle Pitts, 6 years, 115 mil. He doesn't take it, and now we can't afford anyone else here for now, so that's rough. I wish once you submitted offers, if they reject, I wish you could submit an offer to someone else. I don't know why you can't. That's really weird. I mean, I guess I don't know how much I want to yet anyways, because these players are older, and they're gonna regress and be cheaper at the end of the year, but still. But let's get to the end of the year, and we will see how we finish. But at the end of year number 2, we finish 11-6. Our defense really fell off a cliff for some reason. I mean, it was still really good, but it wasn't the second best defense in the league anymore in the second half of the year. But our passing game really made a comeback. We finished with the 8th best. That's interesting. Let's see what happened this year. Michael Penix was pretty good. Ooh, pretty good. 4,000 yards, 29 touchdowns, 67% completion percentage. That's all pretty good, but 18 picks. That's not fantastic. Hopefully he can get that number down next year. We'll see. Bijan was good. Where's the Bijan that gets like 2,000 yards rushing in a season? Like, that's how he normally plays in simulation. Why can't he play like that for us? But I mean, almost 1,300 yards is still pretty good. 4.3 is pretty good. 7 touchdowns, 14 for Tyler Algier. Darnell Mooney was our leading receiver with almost 1,300 yards. Why? Okay, sure. But Jake Matthews led the team, or not led the team. Well, I guess he did lead the team in sacks, but yeah, he allowed 7. Drew Dahlman wasn't great. Lindstrom wasn't great. Normally he is, though. The line was much better than last year, though. But Caden Ellis, 101 tackles. TFL's 20 for Grady Jarrett, 12 for Ebiketie and David Onyemata in sacks. 11 for Grady Jarrett, we'll take it. And of course, in a contract year, 7.5 for Arnold Ebiketie. I mean, that's still not fantastic, but it's a lot better than the, what, 4.5 he had last year? Or 5? I guess it's only 2.5 better, but it is still better. And then 5.5 for Onyemata, only 4.5 for Braylon Trice. Not great. But picks, 4 for Terrell, 3 for Bates, 2 for Ellison Reed, and then 1 for Kool-Aid McKinstry. Definitely a season that didn't really feel like an 11-6 team, honestly. Our stats weren't that good. But Patrick Mahomes wins MVP. Big shocker there. Offensive Player of the Year goes to Brandon Ayuk, someone who maybe could get traded tonight. Probably not, but maybe. Either him or Deebo Samuel. We'll see. I'm assuming they drafted Ricky Pearsall for a reason. Malcolm Kuntz on the Buccaneers now at number 6 for Defensive Player of the Year. That's something. But Grady Jarrett at number 4. Offensive Rookie of the Year goes, of course we have to get Cuck. Johnny Samuel for the Giants wins it. I wasn't even thinking we would be up there, but Thorpe at number 2. And Defensive Rookie of the Year also goes to a Giant, Brian Thomas, not the LSU receiver, some D lineman it looks like, based off his face at least. But we definitely did pretty well this year. It's good to see that Michael Penix didn't do horribly, even though we definitely want to get those interception numbers down. But we have a first of many scenario here. I'm worried for this offseason, but we'll just worry about the playoffs while we're in them. We will go play it cool. Y'all know me. Who did the Eagles draft? Did they get Terrion Arnold? No, the Lions got Terrion. Oh yeah, they got Quinion Mitchell. That's how does the NFL always allow the Eagles to get away with this kind of thing? Quinion Mitchell was one of my favorite players in the draft. He was like my 3rd or 4th favorite defensive player overall. And the Eagles are like, yeah, sure, we'll pick him at 22 or wherever they got him. That's disgusting. The NFL should be ashamed of themselves for always letting this happen. But anyways, let's simulate this game against the Eagles. We are the better overall team. We had a better record, but but let's see what happens. Okay, we do win. One advantage we have is the Falcons in this game, for some reason, do so well in the playoffs. I don't know why, but when it comes to the playoffs, the Falcons are one of the most unstoppable teams. I'm not sure if that's going to be the case when I'm using them, because this game hates me, but we'll see what happens. But we're going to be taking on the 11-6 Detroit Lions here, which, you know, that's where the draft is held. Sticking to the draft theme here. They had a horrible offense. They were 27th for yards, 28th for points per game, so that was great. We also led the league in giveaways, in turnovers, so that's what we love to see. We had 20, but we have some upgrades here. Justin Reed, Braylon Trice, Michael Garcia, we'll take it. Is Michael Garcia the one who had hidden dev, or was he the one who had normal? Okay, he's the one who had hidden. You know, it doesn't seem like much, but he possibly could start for us someday, because David Onyemata and Grady Jarrett are pretty old. But we have a recap for the first of many from the Eagles game. Give us those sweet, juicy staff points, please and thank you. But let's simulate this game against the Lions, and we will see what happens. We lose 26-20 to one of the worst offenses in the league this year, so that's awesome. But hey, it's only year 2. Let's get into the offseason, and like I said, this might be a tough one. I wonder when we can get out of the Kirk Cousins contract. We'll see, because right now it does literally nothing for us. But in the Super Bowl, the Cowboys beat the Ravens 29-26. As much as the Cowboys are in the Super Bowl, I feel like they lose a lot of the ones they're in, but they do win one here, which is maybe the most unrealistic thing we've seen so far in today's video. Oh yeah, and let's see if we got any dev traits. I'm thinking Darnell Mooney might have got one. I also want to figure out how our offense works. I'm using the Rams offense because the Falcons hired Zach Robinson. Because, I mean, Darnell Mooney wasn't our starting, he wasn't like our number 2 receiver, or, oh, he was our slot receiver. I forgot to change. Okay, well, that's what did it. Never mind. I'm stupid. I forgot to change the slot depth. I always forget that because I skip straight to the edge group. Okay, my fault. But he did get superstar dev. That's cool. I do wish most of the catches went to Thorpe or London, but it is what it is. We'll do that next year. But Thorpe also has superstar dev. It looks like Jake Matthews unfortunately retired, of course, in his one good season. And then we had a few dev ups on defense. Arnold Ebiketie went up to superstar for some reason. He wasn't that good. I mean, he had TFLs, but okay. And Grady Jarrett went up to superstar, which that makes sense. He had, what, 11 sacks? He was good. Unfortunately, both of the safeties only have star, but it is what it is. We're also going to move Higgins to corner. He'll be our nickel corner. That's where he started last year. 5'9", 212 is an interesting nickel corner build, but it worked last year, so we'll do it again. But for the rest of the players we have to re-sign, we of course want Kyle Pitts back, but we don't really throw to the tight end that much. So this could, I mean, do I care about production, which is so, like, volatile in this game, it almost doesn't matter? Or do I care about how the team actually looks on paper? Because that's really all I can control. I might just care more about how this team looks on paper. We might re-sign him. We do have Ben Sinnott, though, so we definitely won't be bad at tight end, but do we really want to pay over 20 mil per year for, like, 500 yards of production? That's my question. I think it'll be fine. We'll re-sign him. Okay, just kidding, we won't. He rejects it. Okay, that could be for the best. The tag isn't very expensive. We'll definitely think about that. But Bijan will pick up the 5th year. That's going to be fun to re-sign him. Tyler Algier, he's had a lot of touchdowns, but not interested. I don't want to pay 2 running backs. Arnold Ebiketie did get superstar dev. I don't know if I trust him, though. We'll go 3 years, 20.1 mil. He takes it. Caden Ellis is good, but he's already 31, and he's not interested, so I'm good. Grady Jarrett, we definitely want back. We'll go 2 years, 28 mil. Okay. He doesn't take it despite us raising the offer from neutral a little bit and having very green interest, so thanks, Madden. David Onyemata, he actually was pretty damn good last year. Not interested, though, and he's 33. Okay. Caleb McGarry, I also want back. I'm fine doing very player-friendly, but I only want to do 2 years. 2 years, 35. That's not cheap, but he does play well in this game. He takes it. Why is nobody interested in the team? I mean, a few players are, but like, we went 11-6 last year. There were like 3 players who were actually interested at all. They ain't respecting Mikey McDingle, what can I say? But in free agency, of course, Kyle Pitts is one of the best players here. Ooh, Jordan Mailata, that's actually kind of perfect. How does he do in this game, though? Not great. Really not great. Do I care about that, though? Again, I kind of want to just make this team look good on paper. He is pretty expensive, though. 30 mil per year. I don't know if we can do that. Tyron Smith Smith, maybe, but he's really old. That wouldn't be a terrible Band-Aid option, though. Like 1 year, 21.4. He is interested. And let me restructure some deals real quick, because I think we'll be able to free up a decent amount of money. But in free agency, here's what we're gonna do. We're going for older players here again. We're kind of at the point where we just, you know, we need some good players. I don't even know if I want Tyrell Dodson, honestly. Now that I think about it, I might just rather save the money and draft a linebacker. I mean, what I really wanted this year was a pass rusher, but the best one's Bryce Huff, and he is absolutely horrific in this game most of the time. Yeah, I would say that's about right. He has had 0 sacks, 0.0 in the last 3 years. Because that's realistic, thanks Madden. I thought I was going to be proven wrong. I got proven more than right with that. I think I'm going to stay as far away from him as I can. But Tyron Smith, Grady Jarrett, let's see if they want to sign. Grady Jarrett signs. Tyron Smith probably won't take that, so we'll go just a neutral offer, 1 year, 23, and he doesn't take it. How about now? Okay, he takes it. So we get Tyron Smith and Grady Jarrett. Cool. Let's get to the draft. But in the draft, we pick all the way back at 27 this year, and I'll say it again. I want a pass rusher. There are a lot this year, but none of them look particularly good. We'll just see. Okay, that was a pretty good call. We could take a chance on Dudley Culliver. What did his combine look like? It was good. Hold on, just for reference, what do the 3rd to 4th round talents look like? We can compare them to that guy. Ooh. Reggie Blakely ran a 4.84 at only 264 pounds. That's not great. I don't know. I don't know that Dudley Culliver is that good, though. I don't know if he's worth this pick. What do we do if we don't take him, though? Do I just swing for the fences with a, like, 80-something overall safety? Maybe. I don't know if there is one of those this year, though. You know what? I think James Spearman is really good, but I don't want to take another safety. He does look really, really good, though. I don't know. We're fine. We have enough safeties. I do think he could be like an 80-something, but we just don't need any more. This is actually really tough. Ooh, maybe not. Rashad Woodyard. Okay, lately when I've been taking centers, they absolutely suck. Even when they look ridiculous, I would guess they're like an 82 and they're a 73 or something. But Rashad Woodyard, elite strength, great speed, elite change direction, great acceleration. Everything that is scouted is an A. I'm a little worried about his finesse, but I don't know, man. He looks pretty good. All right, yeah, I don't know what else to do. It's technically a reach. He's not supposed to go until the 2nd to 3rd round, but I don't know what else to do here. So I almost took the wrong player. It's Rashad Woodyard. I saw 2nd to 3rd round talent, but Rashad Woodyard, let's take him. Hidden dev, 92 strength, 82 excel, 73 speed. We'll take it. Probably not going to play at all year 1, but that's a future pick right there. And here, do we just go with Eddie McMillan? I mean, we're so desperate for pass rusher, we'll try almost anything. I guess our pass rush wasn't as bad last year, but it still wasn't good, at least from our edge group. We'll try Eddie McMillan. He is only 21. We'll hope he has a dev trait. He has great speed, good excel, great strength. Doesn't look fantastic, but looks worth it. He'll probably be like a 72. I don't know what 2nd to 3rd round talents are. I don't know what their overall usually is in strong draft classes, but let's take him. He does have hidden. That's huge. We'll take it. And now last pick, let's see if there's a good linebacker still available. It definitely looks like it. Ooh, I kind of like Bobby St. Clair. The only problem is he looks awful in coverage. He only has decent acceleration too, but he looks like a really good run defender. None of these linebackers look too great though. Sheldon Wilburn actually looks pretty good. I think we'll take him. I don't think he's great, but I like the speed. He has elite speed. Again, I don't know if I would call a 4.53 elite. That's definitely good. I would say elite would be like 4.4s for a cover linebacker, but he looks good. We'll take him. Normal dev, really? He does have 91 speed, which is cool, but I might take another one just because we can. I mean, we need depth there anyways, so we might as well. Ooh, 4.72 speed. That's not great. I might just take Spencer Hubbard. I mean, I think the other linebacker was better, but we need depth. Sure. He has hidden. Okay. I mean, I don't know if he'll be our starter, but he could be better than I'm expecting. We'll see. But you already know what I'm going to say. We'll take it. But here's how he did in the draft. It was actually better than I expected. Rashad Woodyard is a 77. You know, I was hoping for like an 80-ish, but I'm just glad he's not a 73, which is what I was fearing. He's almost perfectly in between that. Oh, he has horrible run block finesse. That's great. But everything else looks good. Not crazy power, but he has 92 impact blocking. walking, 92 strength, so that's huge. He might have to start year one. We'll see. But Eddie McMillan is better than I expected. 74. I thought he would be like a 72. 78 finesse moves, 85 speed, 87 excel. Cool. And then the two linebackers are definitely decent. Wilburn, I mean, if McMillan was a second to third round talent at a 74, I mean, these two probably are too, so these are decent picks. Wilburn's a 74, no dev trait, and then Hubbard is a 73 with a dev trait, so I think Hubbard will be our starter. Not the best in coverage, but I've seen much, much worse. And good speed, good excel, really good awareness for a rookie. Sounds good. And then the CPU took an okay defensive tackle, a backup tight end. This wasn't a very good draft for the CPU other than this defensive tackle. I guess it was only 3 picks. They were 1 for 3, but still. Also, it might be time to release Kirk Cousins. This would save us $33.5 million. It's going to be a big penalty, but it'll save us a lot of money, so yeah, we'll do it. Let's see if there's a fun backup quarterback in free agency. Ooh, my GOAT, my king, Gardner Minshew? Absolutely. But here's a look at the team heading into year 3. We're looking good. 85 overall, 87 offense. Only an 84 overall defense, but it is young, so hopefully we can develop here. Jesse Bates is also getting close to a 99 overall. We'll see if he can hit that. He's already almost 30, so probably not, but maybe. It's going to be really interesting to see how this team does. Again, we're still due for a big underperformance, so hopefully that doesn't happen, but it does happen once per rebuild. I don't even want to say anything else about that because I don't want to jinx it, but we'll just see what happens. Let's get to the midseason point, and hopefully we're doing pretty well. Okay, well, we are kinda having a down year. We are only 4-3, despite being a better team than last year. I mean, I know other teams got better, but like, we're an 86. The Panthers are 5-2, while we're 4-2. They're probably only like an 80 overall. We're an 86. Like, we should be doing better than them. It looks like, once again, giveaways are a problem. Not as many this year, but still not good. We don't have many rushing touchdowns, and we're bad on third downs. And then on defense, we're allowing a lot of yards, and we only have 4 takeaways. If you're giving the ball away more than you're taking it away, it's probably an issue. But what do I even do about that? We have a good roster. We'll see how we finish the year. We have some re-signings to make. Jesse Bates, we were just talking about him. We'll definitely re-sign him. 4 years, 81 mil. He takes it. Drake London isn't interested now. I think he was before, but we'll go 6 years, 126 mil. He takes it. Cool. Darnell Mooney's good. He does have superstar dev, but he's not interested in RD28, so I think I'm good. Matt Bergeron, he's doing well this year. We definitely could get an upgrade in terms of overall, though, so we might let him go. And then it's mostly just depth back here. Well, we do have Tyron Smith, too, but he might retire. He's at the very least gonna regress. So we're good on everyone else so far, but let's get to the end of the year, and we will see how we finish. Okay, well, actually, here we are at the end of year number 3, and if you haven't already, be sure to leave a like on the video. Be sure to subscribe, of course, because like I said earlier, 3,000 likes and I'll do another draft rebuild, and it'll let me know y'all enjoy this video and to do more like this. I mean, I'll definitely do another draft video anyways, but be sure to like the video. It helps out the channel a ton. And actually, before I forget, question of the day. The question I asked in yesterday's video definitely didn't age well. I asked, who's one player you think could go earlier than people are expecting? I said Cooper DeJean, and he still hasn't been picked yet, so unlucky. The correct answer was Michael Penix. But for today's question of the day, I am gonna say, or ask, out of the current players still available in the second round, who is one that you want your favorite team to get? As a Seahawks fan, I'm gonna say any offensive lineman. I'm very happy with the Byron Murphy pick. I think he was like the second best defensive player in the class, arguably the best, but they need offensive line pretty desperately. I know they don't value interior offensive line. I think that's ridiculous, as I've said many times, but I'm just hoping that their next pick is like any offensive lineman, any interior offensive lineman. My dream is that they somehow trade up for Jackson Powers Johnson or Cooper Beebe or something, or maybe Cooper Beebe's still available. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But let me know who you want your team to get out of who's still available down in the comments. But anyways, back to the rebuild, and in year number 3, we finished 12-5. We had a big bounce back, only losing 2 more games for the rest of the year, finishing what, 8-2, pretty good to say the least. But let's check out our season stats super quick. Michael Penix, 23 passing touchdowns. Hold on, what did that just say? Oh no, okay, never mind. I was checking the offensive ranks and I saw 23 passing touchdowns was number 21 in the league. I thought that said we only had 21 total passing touchdowns. I was like, wait a minute, that's not right. But no, I'm just stupid. Big shocker. But 3,800 yards for Penix, 23 touchdowns, 10 picks. I mean, he was all right. That's a fine season. Good completion percentage, but Other than that, he was just fine. But 1,500 yards for Bijan, 4.9 per carry, 19 touchdowns. Long as our number 2 running back definitely wasn't great. I might look at signing a number 2 running back, which I rarely do, but he wasn't great. But Drake London, 1,300 yards, 5 touchdowns. Mooney and Thorpe both had over 700 yards. For blocking, Tyron Smith was decent. Same with Caleb McGarry. Matt Bergeron wasn't very good, so this was a good year to decide not to re-sign him. Dahlman and Lindstrom were good. Spencer Hubbard led the team with 121 tackles. TFL 17 for Garrett, 16 for Ebiketie. And sacks, sacks are a massive problem. Only 6.5 for Ebiketie, 6 for Olsen, 5 for Jarrett, 4.5 for McMillan. Still bad. Then picks, 2 for Trell and McKinstry, and then 1 for Hubbard and Higgins. Definitely, again, we had a good record, but the stats really don't reflect that. But Joe Burrow wins MVP here. What? Okay, well, I guess the J.J. McCarthy experiment didn't work out for the Vikings. They signed Mac Jones, and he did very well, apparently, up there for MVP. Offensive Player of the Year goes to Brandon Ayuk, though. Hopefully he isn't traded by the time this video comes out. I mean, if he is, there's nothing I can do about that, but we'll see. Bijan at number 5. Defensive Player of the Year goes to DeMarcus Lawrence. Offensive Rookie of the Year goes to Rush Schultz for the Rams. I saw him up there for MVP, too. And Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to Channing Bishop for the Giants. They're winning a lot of Rookie of the Year awards. Hubbard at 4. McMillan at 5. Really no awards, or even close at all, again. But hey, at least we went 12-5. Our defense looked really underwhelming this year, though. I mean, they didn't allow a lot of touchdowns, which is, you know, what you want, so we shouldn't do anything too crazy to it, but I still want to make our pass rush better. But we have a one last hurrah scenario here. Maybe Grady Jarrett? That's like the only thing I could think of. I mean, it could be Tyron Smith, I guess. It is Tyron Smith. Okay. Plus 10 morale, we'll take it. But we're going to be taking on the Vikings. We are 1 overall better than them. We are coming off of a 24-14 loss to the Browns, so I don't have too much confidence in winning this game, but let's see what happens. Oh yeah, they have Mac Jones. We get kicked out of the playoffs by Mac Jones. This game hates me. I mean, it doesn't look like he did much to get him there. They only put up 17 points, but still. And in the Super Bowl, the Vikings make it, but end up losing 35-23 to the Ravens. The Ravens are slowly becoming the new Chiefs. Have they made every Super Bowl here? They won this one, they lost last year, and they won the year before. So yeah, they are 3 for 3 on Super Bowls so far. Not wins, but making it. I think I said that in the last rebuild too. We're gonna have to worry about the Ravens now. For some reason, the Chiefs don't really make it anymore. It's just the Ravens now. Watch, I say that, and then the Chiefs are gonna be here next year. But let's see if we got any dev traits. None on offense. Actually, Bijan went up to X Factor. I'm surprised Drake London didn't get Superstar. It looks like Tyron Smith did retire. Arnold Ebiketie went up to X Factor. Why? That's like the most undeserving X Factor I've ever seen. He hasn't been good. Not even like X Factor worthy. He just straight up hasn't been good. I mean, he's been good against the run, I guess, getting TFLs, but I mean, I don't care. I want my pass rushers to be good at pass rushing. I want my edge rushers to be good edge rushers. I mean, I want them to be fine run stoppers, but that's not what I'm looking for. Also, Grady Jarrett retired. This is going to be a tough final season, but doable. I think we can survive. So let's get into free agency, or at least the re-signing period for now, with a lot of money, thankfully. And we are going to spend every penny of it. But, I mean, the 5th year for Kool-Aid McKinstry doesn't matter, but he shouldn't have it. He wasn't a first-round pick. I mean, he technically was, but it technically was the 2nd round. But Matt Bergeron, I'm good. Darnell Mooney, I'm good. Rondale Moore. We'll re-sign Younghoe Koo and Blake Gillikin. But again, let me restructure some deals and let's see what we can do in free agency. But here in free agency, we definitely ended up with a little bit of money, just 114 mil. And there are some pretty good players. AJ Brown being the best one, but there's also Frank Ragnow, Ryan Ramczyk, who will probably be retired by this point. I mean, he might even retire soon due to injuries, unfortunately. I mean, even Zay Flowers. It's just, we only really use one receiver. So if we're getting AJ Brown, we won't use Drake London hardly at all. I don't know what I want to do. I mean, we might as well just make this team as ridiculous as possible on paper, or at least try to. So here's what we're gonna try to do. Oh boy, we're gonna go for AJ Brown, Frank Ragnow, Ronnie Stanley, Quincy Williams, and Daron Payne. I don't think we're gonna get all of them. I think we'll get most of them. I honestly don't think we'll get AJ Brown, but we might as well try. I think we'll get Ronnie Stanley and Daron Payne, but I think we will either get Frank Ragnow or Quincy Williams. I don't think we'll get both. So I think we'll end up with 3 players here, maybe 4 if we're lucky, but I think there's a 0% chance we end up with all 5. I mean, maybe like 15%. I don't know. I mean, this would obviously be an insane free agent class if we got all these guys. One thing you might notice that's missing here, though, is edge. There is still not a good one. I think the best one is Samson Ebukam, who, I mean, he's good in real life. He's probably going to get a single sack here if he starts. He had 7 sacks a few years ago for the Colts, but that's hardly an upgrade. Last year, or I guess 2 years ago, he had half of a sack, and this last year he had 4.5. True world beater right here. So yeah, I think we're good on that, but we will try to get all these players, and I have a plan to get a pass rusher. Don't worry. So let's see if all these guys want to sign. Okay, so we get Daron Payne, and AJ Brown goes to the Jaguars. Really? I guess maybe they're good here, but I don't know about that one. We'll go for Zay Flowers instead, but we have a lot of money left over now. I do have a plan for that money though, like I said. But Frank Ragnow, Zay Flowers, Ronnie Stanley, and Quincy Williams, do they all want to sign? Okay, so we get Flowers, Stanley, Williams. That's cool. We don't get Frank Ragnow. I don't think he will sign. He'll probably go to the Broncos, but that's fine. We have that one center we drafted last year. The plan for Ragnow was guard. He's played guard before, but we'll just move the center to guard. That's fine. I mean, we'll see if he signs. He still doesn't sign with anyone. Let's sim the week, I guess. He still hasn't signed. Okay, and he finally does. He goes to the Broncos, it looks like. So definitely a good free agent class. No, like, superstars. No 90 pluses, but definitely a good class. And let's see if we can get a superstar. Okay, we are going to be trading our first round pick this year, a third round pick, and our second next year. That's a lot of draft capital. The second doesn't really matter for us next year because we're not going to get to that point anyways, but we're trading all that for Max Crosby, who, you know, is like maybe the best defensive player in this game, at least in terms of performance. Either him or Max Crosby, I would say. Or him or Micah Parsons. I'm tired if you couldn't tell. I was up late trying to make these rosters. And you know, he's been like, he had 25.5 sacks last year, or I guess 2 years ago. I feel like for us, he's probably going to play more like this, but hopefully not. Hopefully he gets at least like 12 sacks. Is that too much to ask for someone who got 25.5 a couple years ago? I don't know. We'll see. I'm so optimistic. But in the draft, we of course pick at number 23 in the second round. I always do this when I trade away our pick. I accidentally scouted like first round players, or focus scouted them like Hazelwood. Hazelwood isn't good anyways, but I don't know. I always forget when we trade our first round pick away. I don't even know if there's anything good we can really do with this pick. I guess we'll just see. I want a D tackle, but none of them look particularly good. Gabe Rutherford actually looks decent. I don't know. Emmett McFadden looks good. He had 40 bench reps, elite strength, with decent pass rush ability. I mean, B power moves is probably only like a 72, but we'll still take him. Only normal dev, but 95 strength. That's cool. And I think that might be our last pick of the draft, unless there's someone super good looking in the fourth round. Actually, we do kind of need a fourth corner. We only have 3 on the roster. What's Peter Green's speed? 4.44, but it's only solid speed. He does have great strength though. Oh, bad awareness and play rec. I mean, he's probably all right, just not very good. We'll still take him. Normal dev. It's depth. But here's how we did in the draft. Emmett McFadden is actually really good. He's a 77, and the 72 power moves guess was pretty good. It's a 73, 70 finesse, 69 speed. Nice. 83 tackle. That's pretty damn good. Same with his play rec, obviously 95 strength. That was a good pick. I wish he had a dev trait, but he's good. Peter Green's only a 70. Even then, I thought he would be like a 72, but he's even worse than I expected. And then, ooh, a blocking tight end. Hidden dev, 74 overall. Good shit, CPU, we'll take it. I want to see, hold on, just because, I want to see where Emmett McFadden is ranked in the class. Well, a 77 is tied for 9th in terms of overall. So I would say he's a mid to early first round talent, and we got him at the end of the second. We'll take it. But here's a look at the team heading into the final year of the rebuild. Up to an 88 overall, we are definitely good. Not the best team I've ever built, but still a good one. Usually the range we aim for heading into the final year is like 88 to 90 is what we want. Now, hopefully we are like a 90-ish by the end of the year, but we still, I want to see. We haven't really checked yet. Where does an 88 rank in the NFL right now? Okay, the Falcons. We are the Falcons. I am stupid. I saw something about the Eagles on my phone, and for some reason my brain went, oh, we're the Eagles. No, we're the Falcons. It looks like we do have the best roster in the league, though. Most teams are around like an 83 or 4. The 49ers are an 87, and the Chiefs are also an 87, but we have the best roster. I would say we've done pretty well, but I will rearrange the depth chart, and let's get into the final year of the rebuild. We will see how we finish. And we finished 12-5. in year number 4. We were only 3-3 at the midseason. We started off with a win, but we lost our next 3 games. That's great. Then we went on a big win streak. We lost another. We went on a couple game streak, lost one, then won the last 3. We beat the Saints 37-0, and then the Buccaneers 35-21. We went out big on this season. So hopefully with some big wins, we actually had good stats this year, but we will see. Okay, yeah, finally. Michael Penix, 4,200 yards, 36 touchdowns, 11 picks, 74% completion percentage. He was insane. That's the type of year I was hoping for. 1,400 yards for Bijan Robinson, 4.9 per carry, 10 touchdowns. 1,350 yards and 10 touchdowns for Zay Flowers. I wanted to make Drake London the number 1 receiver, but it just didn't make sense to because Zay Flowers was a higher overall slot receiver. But London still did well. The blocking was good. Caleb McGarry wasn't fantastic, but he wasn't horrible either. And then Quincy Williams, 113 tackles, led the team. TFL's 11 for Crosby, 10 for Olsen. And sacks, I mean, we'll take 11. It's not the 25.5 he had a couple years ago, though, but I definitely didn't expect that. I'm just glad it wasn't like 3 or something. And then 9 sacks for Daron Payne, 1 for Arnold Ebiketie, Emmett McFadden, a lot of players. I'm benching Ebiketie right now. And then interceptions, only 8 total, 3 for Williams and Terrell, 1 for Reed and McKinstry. I am benching Arnold Ebiketie, speed run. Like, get the fuck out of here. I might even cut him. I don't want to have to rearrange the depth chart, but get out. But in what is possibly our final game of the rebuild, we are going to be taking on the San Francisco 49ers. We have the same overall team as them, actually. They did catch us, which is a little surprising because, you know, we did better. I would imagine we're a younger team, but we do have some older players. So I guess that makes sense, but we do have a lot of younger players. Ooh, Morgan has superstar, I figured. Blocking tight ends always have ridiculous dev traits. But this has been a really fun rebuild. I am half expecting it to come to an end here. So I just want to say, if you have not already, be sure to subscribe to my second channel, link in the description. And by the time this video is out, or at least by the time you're hearing this, on the second channel, I'm going to do a draft grades video for the first round. I don't think I've ever done that. Maybe I have, but I'll just share my opinion on all the picks. Y'all already know my opinion on the Michael Penix thing. I don't hate it that much, but I also don't like it. But yeah, if you want to see all my first round draft grades, be sure to check my second channel. Again, link in the description. And you can be one of the first like 1,600 subscribers on there if you want to. But anyways, this is not going to be an easy game here, as I was saying. The 49ers don't have a very good pass game. We're honestly better than them at a lot of stuff. I mean, as you would expect when we have a better record, but we still had a ton of giveaways. I mean, 14 isn't that bad, but it was 29th. But we have them beat in every other category that shows up here on offense. On defense, they had more takeaways and more sacks, though, but we had them beat in everything else. It's just, you know, sacks and takeaways happen to be like the 2 most important things on defense. Well, enough speculation here. I'm stalling. Let's see if we can beat the 49ers. Oh, no. We lose 35-34. We lose by 1 point in a high-scoring game with, what, 69 total points? I mean, if we're gonna lose a game, I'm fine with it being 69 total points. But I mean, this is an amazing team. This, like we saw at the beginning of the year, was the best roster in the league. So I would say I did my part. We maybe deserved to win that game. It's understandable to lose because they were the same overall, but we probably should have had a first-round bye. We probably should have been good enough to get that, but it is what it is. I don't expect anything from Madden Simulation at this point. But hey, I mean, if the Falcons follow my plan, hey, maybe they can have a ridiculous roster in the next few years, because Madden franchise is very reflective of real life, definitely. But I really hope y'all enjoyed today's video. Again, if you haven't already, 3,000 likes, and I'll do another draft-related video. I'll do one anyways, but like the video. I would appreciate it. Again, subscribe for more, a ton of fun stuff. I'm gonna be doing a video tomorrow, Sunday, maybe even Monday, but maybe a second channel video Monday. We'll see. But thank you all so much for watching, and with that, I will see y'all again in the next video. Goodbye.